Netflix has added fuel to the race swap fire by casting Adele James, a black actress from London, as Cleopatra in an upcoming series. As usual, people on both sides of the aisle are erupting with arguments and charged opinions. But what's the truth? What do the facts say, and why does it even matter? I'm Animaine, comic book writer, history buff, sometimes both at once, and all-purpose nerd. Time for us to find out. Let's get it, let's go.
Ding that little bell thingy so you can get all of the notifications.
While I've been very critical of recent race swaps done by Hollywood, I really don't have an issue with them existing as long as they're done tastefully and respectfully in terms of the source material, and as long as we're talking about fictional characters. Real life people is where I draw the line. Historical accuracy is important, and changing facts to suit an agenda doesn't help anyone. The fact is, Cleopatra was not of sub-Saharan African descent, nor was she Egyptian. Her national identity was Egyptian, but her ethnic identity was not. She was Macedonian Greek, and her particular family was known for keeping it all in the family, if you know what I mean. Which was pretty much par for the course for most powerful families back in the day. And yes, there are holes in her family tree that leave room for speculation that she was possibly mixed race to some degree, including her own mother. But we just don't have any credible evidence to suggest that she was, in appearance, if not literally in genes, anything other than Greek. And the instances of other ethnicities popping up in her family tree that we know of are so far back they're negligible. It'd be like claiming you were part Native American because your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-granddad was half Cherokee or something. This is just another opportunity to change history to favor those who feel like they've been misrepresented or underrepresented by Hollywood. And I get that. History is full of powerful, inspiring, and harrowing tales that take place all over the world. And outside of civil rights and slavery dramas, we don't see a whole lot of black folks who take center stage in those stories. Wanting to change that is a good thing, but changing history is not the way to go about it. Historical revisionism is something that just grinds my gears in general. Sometimes it's race swaps, other times it's fudging and bending facts to make a certain group or person be supportive of a cause that they either were less supportive of in real life or flat out against. Looking at you, Woman King. Ironically, I'm about to start watching a Netflix docudrama about an actual African queen who was apparently very powerful and revered in her area, Queen Njinga. Now this is the way. Will her name bring in as many eyes as Cleopatra? No, because she wasn't as well known. But the work has to start somewhere, and this is way better than race swapping Cleopatra, for God's sakes. I mean, that's just brain dead. In addition to pissing off several non-woke American folks, several of whom are black, I may add, Egyptians themselves are rightfully in an uproar about this whole thing. One person's even suing Netflix for their transgressions, and I hope they win. Let this be a lesson to any aspiring creators out there who want to do something like this for more representation. Stop. History is full of people who are actually from whatever group you want to shine the spotlight on. Choose one of those people with a dope story to tell and tell it. Tell it with emotion. Tell it with art. Tell it with pathos. Tell it with power. But tell it honestly. It's not like this hasn't been done before. How many of us first heard the name Shaka Zulu when watching the 1980s historic drama series? And now way more people know about him as the powerful and fearful warrior king that he was. We could be doing that now 10 times over. But first, we have to be honest with ourselves and history and quit this hyper woke hotep bullshit. We get it. Whitewashing and general unfavorable depictions of people from Africa has been around for a long time, and that's not going to be automatically undone just because we've had a few decades of solid representation. Wanting to change how we view ourselves in history to better align with history is always going to be a good thing. There are several lesser and untold stories of black folks that are begging to be told, but you gotta tell them right. And taking a non-black person and changing them to black to suit this agenda is not going to help your case. if anything, is gonna turn people off to this type of stuff, so that when you do have more things that come out about African kings and queens and revolutionaries from the diaspora, guess what people are not gonna do? Watch. They're gonna see this and roll their eyes, just like they do when they see a new original black comic book. They're gonna take one look at the cover, see all those melanated faces, and say, this is probably some woke bullshit, and just go about their business. I hate when that happens. But then I hate when this happens too. People who support this type of stuff, please understand, you're not helping your cause. You're only making things worse. This whole we was Kangs mindset is about to set us back more than the crack epidemic. And the only way to turn the tide is to be real. Tell real history and get your hands off them white people. Let them be white.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Be sure to tell me how much of a coon sellout Sambo that I am in the comments, by the way. But seriously, definitely let me know what you think in the comments, whether you agree or disagree. Let's have ourselves a conversation. And that's gonna be all for me today. Thank you for watching and listening. I'm Animaine, and I'll talk to y'all later. Deuces.